After more than 30 years in existence, Magic the Gathering has had made for it a ton of characters, and I mean a ton of characters. Now, while a lot of the minor ones don't really show up in card form, most of the major ones do. Notice I said most of the major ones do. Surprisingly, there are a number of key characters throughout the collectible card game that don't have cards associated with them. We took a look at them and picked out 5, at least for this video, that don't have cards made for them, and we wondered what would it be like to have a card for those characters. Here are those 5 this time around. A planeswalker who lived much of his life on the plane of Olgrotha, Pharaohs is perhaps most well known for 2 things. His name being on the card Pharaohs' Ban, an artifact that makes it harder for players to play creatures, and for being married to another much more well-known planeswalker, Serra. His main appearance outside of card names and flavor text was in the 1996 Homelands comic book published by Armada Comics. In the story, he is largely a blue planeswalker with hints of white mixed in as well. He's also associated with multiple artifacts and was the founder and first master of Olgrotha's Wizard Stool, which hints at a background in academia. So what would this old planeswalker of yore look like in card form? Well, he'd be a planeswalker, of course, and he'd probably be white-blue with a heavier emphasis on the blue. For abilities, I could see his first ability mimicking the card Pharaohs' Ban, adding a 2 generic mana cost to creature spells. We'll give that a +1 loyalty cost. According to lore, Pharaohs taught shape-shifting magic to Olgrotha's Beast Walkers. So let's go with something along those lines for a second ability. At -1 loyalty cost, let's say that you can make a creature you control have base power and toughness equal to Pharaohs' loyalty. As for his final ability, Pharaohs is known to have used a number of artifacts in the game, including Aladdin's Ring, Clockwork Gnomes, the Rheodothopter, and more. So let's do something that lets you search for an artifact. We don't want it to be too overpowered, so let's do something like this. -X. Look at the top X cards of your deck where X is twice the amount of loyalty spent. You may reveal an artifact from among them and put it into play. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And for final stats, let's start it at loyalty 3 and a mana cost of 4. 1 a white and 2 blue. Those familiar with the character Volrath, which has 2 cards associated with it, should be probably familiar with Vuel. After all, Vuel eventually became Volrath thanks to Phyrexian meddling. But before that, Vuel was a promising young warrior and the son of Kondo, a Jamuran Sidar, or general, during the Mirage Wars. He was present when a young Gerard Capuchin came under Kondo's supervision and, as the two grew up side by side, found himself to be quite the frenemy of the other. In the story, Vuel and Gerard had to undertake a rite of passage of sorts, one that for Vuel was sabotage. His failure led him to being exiled from his clan. As for Vuel as a magic card, I'm thinking a double-faced card with one side being Vuel and the other being Volrath. Let's make Vuel a white-red legendary human warrior. He understands order and respects his father, so white. But he's also rash and quick to anger, which is where I feel the red comes in. Costing 2, a red and a white, we'll give him haste, first strike, and a power and toughness skewed slightly towards offense, 2-1. We'll also give him a death trigger to symbolize his exile and subsequent eventual change into Volrath, a black legendary Phyrexian shapeshifter creature. Pulling inspiration from the original card from Nemesis, we'll dial things down a bit as this is supposed to represent an earlier version of the character. Let's make him a 4-2, doubling the power and toughness of the other side, and the following ability. For 2 colorless, discard a creature card from your hand or exile a creature from your graveyard. This card gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is that card's mana value. A religious leader on the continent of Separtia, Oliver Farrell was a high-ranking priest in Acacia who left to create his own fanatical order of followers, as he felt the Lietber Church and Acacian government were far too soft in their handling of the Order of the Ebon Hand, a dark, rival cult founded and led by the cleric Torok. In splitting from Leadper and Acacia, Oliver Farrell formed his own cult, the Farrellites. Farrellites quickly became attractive to Acacia's downtrodden through gaslighting and scapegoating. In the name of virtue and justice, Oliver Farrell's fanatical Farrellite followers found fervent fulfillment through unsavory means such as kidnapping, murder, and overall brutal vigilante-like tactics. Oliver Farrell's card should symbolize this in a holier-than-thou sort of way. A white legendary creature, human cleric, Farrell should have an ability that punishes non-white creatures. Perhaps something like, whenever a non-white creature enters under an opponent's control, create a tapped 2/2 white cleric token. And we'll couple it with an ability that is a callback to the original Fallen Empires cards, Farrell's Zealot and Farrell's Mantle. Whenever a white creature you control attacks and isn't blocked, you may have it deal 2 damage to target creature defending player controls. Not bad for a 2/4 creature for 3 white. Christina of the Woods is a planeswalker from the Dominarian continent of Corondor. In the story, this green-aligned planeswalker had been associated with a number of other planeswalkers that she'd fallen in and out of love with, including Taysir and Sandaru, before finally marrying Jared Carthalion, with whom she would have a child. Later in Magic lore, she was among Urza's 9 Titans in the headstrong planeswalker's ill-conceived invasion of Phyrexia. During that invasion, she was accidentally killed, or murdered, depending on how you look at it, by the black-aligned planeswalker Tevesh Sat. As for Christina's card, she would, of course, be a green planeswalker, as she's known for her many relationships with other planeswalkers and just being overall helpful. We'll give her a static ability that benefits other planeswalker cards by providing them with an extra point of loyalty whenever loyalty is added to that card. As for activated abilities, let's take a page from the War of the Spark playbook and give her a single minus ability that plays into her color. For a -2, until end of turn, whenever you tap a land for mana, add an additional green, essentially putting a wild growth on all of your lands. For mana cost, let's say 3, 2 green and 1, and give her a loyalty of 5. An odd number, so you can't kill her with her loyalty ability, but she could be killed accidentally on purpose by other means. The last planeswalker for this list, well at least the list for this video anyway, is Leshrac, a black-aligned planeswalker. Known as the Walker of the Night, or simply Nightwalker, he's known to have lived during the events of the Ice Age when, along with assistance from another planeswalker, Tevesh Sat, he influenced a naive necromancer named Lim-Dul, and right on through to the Mending when Nicol Bolas defeated him and used his spark to seal the rift above the island nation of Vandara. For a card for Leshrac, a character who thrives on darkness, manipulation, and a fetish for the undead, let's consider this one. A mono-black planeswalker costing 5, 3 black and 2, pulling inspiration from the mana cost of the red planeswalker Jaya Ballard, also from the Ice Age stories. We'll give him a starting loyalty of 6 to emphasize his power. His first ability will draw from the Night-Walking Prowess via discard, inspired by a combination of the cards Thoughtseize and Mind Ravel. +1, look at target player's hand and choose a non-land card. That player discards that card, draw a card. For a second ability, let's go with Leshrac's Love of Necromancy, along with some synergy with Leshrac's +1 ability. And we'll have it loosely inspired by the classic card Animate Dead. -2, put target card from a graveyard into the battlefield under your control. Put a -1/-1 counter on that creature. For Leshrac's ultimate ability, let's go with a simple Wrath-style ability that benefits the army that you might have raised through a second ability. -X, all creatures without any -1/-1 counters on them get -X/-X until end of turn. So there you have it. 5 cards for 5 Magic the Gathering characters that do not currently have cards. Well, at least not as of when this video came out. What do you think of them? How would your cards differ from the ones I made? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you would like to see me try to make some cards of some other Magic the Gathering characters that don't yet have cards, let me know who in the comment section below as well. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We also have a tip jar on Patreon if you would like to support the channel that way. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.